Taking a stroll through the original 3 Spyro games recently got me thinking, which one's my favorite? And answering that question was actually kind of tricky, as there's a lot I like in all 3 of them. So instead, how about my 10 favorite levels across the original trilogy? The only rules I have for this one is that I'm limiting myself to just one speedway, otherwise this would just be a list of those, because those levels are great. So let's get to it.
10.
Dark Hollow from Spyro 1. I know, weird choice, right? It's one of the shortest levels in the entire series. It only has 100 gems, and there's really not much going on. But here's the story for you. When I first played this game at like 6 years old, I legit thought this level was scary. Because it's dark. Yes, I was a little babu. After going through the other levels in the artisan homeworld that are all bright and colorful, here comes this nighttime level. It weirded me out as a kid. As such, I remember it and associate this level with the early part of Spyro 1. So anytime I play through the game now and I get to this level, I remember being a kid and what it was like to play this game for the first time. It's nostalgic and I love it. Oh, and the level's pretty. Nice sky, I guess.
9.
Midnight Mountain from Spyro 3. Yes, it's a hub world, but it has gems, eggs, and it counts toward completion. I'm counting it. First of all, this place is gorgeous. The colors here really pop and are, in a way, hauntingly beautiful. This place feels more magical than the other hub worlds in Spyro 3. Sure, I don't care for most of the levels you access from here, but the hub itself has always been something I liked. But it's more than that. It's so much more than that. Because of this. Fuck you, Moneybags. Payback is a bitch.
8.
Sunny Flight from Spyro 1. So out of all the speedways across all 3 games, I chose this one. I wouldn't say this one is the best at all. And since it's from Spyro 1 and not 2 or 3, it doesn't even have a bonus mission. So why this one? Imagine it's your first time playing through the game. This is actually the first speedway in the entire game. But it's hidden until you solve a tiny puzzle, which the solution to isn't given to you until the 3rd hub world. You don't need to wait for the game to tell you. In fact, you can unlock this level by accident if you're just exploring around. But, as a kid, I did not find it early. I did the speedways in Peacekeepers and Magic Crafters first, and I loved those levels. But then...
Listen carefully, Spyro. There's a secret area in the artisan home. It is at the waterfall. Try jumping on the stones there.
Artisan home, waterfall. Sounds good.
This blew my mind. I immediately went back and jumped on the stones to open this world, and wasted no time jumping right into the level. And as I said, it's not the best level. It's fairly easy, and in future playthroughs, it'll likely be your first speedway since you already know to jump on the stones. But because of how cool it was getting to unlock it and feeling like you found this cool secret, I'll always remember this level.
7.
Mystic Marsh from Spyro 2. Okay, being completely honest, I have a love-hate relationship with this level. These monkey lemur things that kill you by throwing their shit at your face, they can fuck right off. These asshats that stole these spark plugs, while satisfying to kill, they can also fuck right off. But this level has my favorite orb side quest in the entire game. The professor giving you an egg and saying, "Hey, go trade this for a pencil." Starts a fun little trading sequence that reminds me of 2 things from my childhood. One, the massive trading quest in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And while I do enjoy that, the second is more important. You ever heard of an MMO called RuneScape? I played the shit out of that in middle school, and totally don't still play it today. Anyway, there's a quest in there called One Small Favor, and I swear it's this orb mission on a massive scale, and I love it. You spend so much time going from place to place to place in RuneScape, doing these little things for someone thinking you're going to get a reward, but first they want you to go do something else for somebody else, and you end up going across the entire world, doing stuff for like everyone, until finally you make it back to the first person, and okay, you're done. And they want to give you like a mediocre reward, and your character is having none of it. Like, your character is so mad from spending so much time on this. It's amazing. It's amazing. Your character feels the frustration that you do, and you feel the frustration that your character does. It's amazing. It was so good. I loved it. Well, I mean, I hated it, but I loved it. And this is like the Spyro version of that for me. And every time I do this, I think of RuneScape and growing up. Given RuneScape's nature as an MMO, I only have the one account, and you can't really redo quests in RuneScape, so I wasn't going to bother making a new account to get all the skills necessary to do that quest again, hence the lack of RuneScape footage here to show you, but trust me, it was good. Anyway, back to Spyro. This level's great, it's near the end of the game, it's a nice little trading sequence, I love it. Deal with it.
6,
Autumn Plains from Spyro 2. So here's my favorite homeworld in the trilogy. Autumn Plains. I have a lot of reasons for this one. One, it's massive. Way bigger than Winter Tundra, that's for sure. Now some might argue, Jacob, Summer Forest is just as big. No, 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 no! You see, Summer Forest is big, but it has two distinct areas. The forest and the castle. They feel like two completely different areas. But with Autumn Plains, that's not the case. When you go into the castle part of it, there's a roof access point that takes you all the way to the castle roof, where you can get on the highest spire. And when you do, you can look out at the entire world from up on high. And the game even gives you an extra sense of where you're at by adding a strong wind sound effect in the background, which is genius. You can then glide out to a little island out in the middle of nowhere, get an orb, and boom, you're back at the bottom. It all feels so connected. And I even like most of the world's connected to the plains. Not this one, though. This one can fuck off.
five,
Sunny Beach from Spyro 2. So kind of like Dark Hollow and Sunny Flight, my love for this level isn't just the level and its design, but rather something from my childhood. I have no idea where it is now, but when I was a kid, I had some of those PlayStation Underground demo discs, which is actually what led me to my favorite game ever, but that's a story for a different day. Anyway, one of those demo discs had Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage on it, and in it, I remember there being two levels, Sunny Beach and Skelos Badlands. Now, as a kid, I much preferred the bright, vibrant colors in Sunny Beach, so I played through that level around 736 times. And so much like Dark Hollow, every time I see that level now, I'm reminded of being a kid with a demo disc, and I love it. The level's also great, with one exception. Going around breaking the crates with the baby turtles in them is great. It gives you that extra destructive power and lets you run around with it on a timer. The water is gorgeous for a PS1 game, and the land sections combined with the water sections in this level are really well done in my opinion. Escorting the baby turtles to the end of the level doesn't feel like a chore since you're already going that way, which is a plus. The only real downside to this level is two of the orbs, and just a few of the gems, are locked behind needing the climb ability, which means you have to come back later to get 100%. Now it doesn't take too long, but me and backtracking never really get along. The level's also kinda short, but I don't really mind. It was perfect for a demo, and it was perfect for a kid, which is what I was when I played it. So, yeah. Next,
4,
Metropolis from Spyro 2. Hey look, another level from Spyro 2. And not just any level, it's the last level. And it's great. The futuristic setting is a fantastic contrast to most of the rest of the game with more of a fantasy setting, with a few exceptions. It feels completely different from the rest of the game. Because it is, and that's a great thing. Right at the end of the game, one last little unexpected level. Amazing uses of color, lots of vertical movement with elevators, and then at the end, boom! Big open area for you to explore. But not just explore, no. They take it one step further and hit you with the coolest power-up gate, the Superfly Super Flame combo. This lets you fly around and explore this open area and shoot fireballs out of your face. What's not to like? Also, the exit cinematic for this level is the best. Nasty's Loot from Spyro 1. I know, I'm picking weird levels for Spyro 1, but come on, this level is fantastic. You can fucking fly. Well, kinda. You're height locked to the highest elevation you've been to, which is actually really cool here, because it adds a sense of progression to an open level. As you take down the thieves that have the keys, you can get higher and higher up in the level, letting you explore more. And of course, as the name of this level would imply, steal more of Nasty's loot. This level gives you an insane sense of satisfaction with just how many gems you're collecting as you fly around. The gems are all high value, so watching that gem counter tick up so fast is so good. Now, it is worth mentioning that in order to play this level, you do need to get 100% in the game. And you know what? I think that's fine. This is your reward, a fun bonus level with a shitload of gems. But there's one main reason this level excels: the final room. Look at all these gems. Holy shit.
2,
Enchanted Towers from Spyro 3. Spoiler alert for number 1. Number 1 is not from Spyro 3, because this is my favorite level in Spyro 3. For a lot of reasons, which we'll get into. This level is in the second hub world in Spyro 3, so it does take a little bit before you get there, which is good, because by the time you get here, you're used to the controls, and you're gonna need it. This level has a decent chunk of gliding from tower to tower as you make your way through the level, and the level itself is fine, nothing incredible, but it's good enough. After making your way through the level, you come across a giant statue of the sorceress, which, conveniently, has 3 rockets around it. And these rockets are where the audio balancing in the game truly shines. You blow it up, the exit portal appears, but there's still more path to take. You follow it, and you find 3 important things. Number 1, you find Farley, who is the goodest boy. Number 2, you find the dude from Spyro 2 with the dancing skeleton, which is amazing, except that you can't get to him. That's because, number 3, Sergeant Bird has a minigame portal. But it's like nothing else you've seen up to this point. Because it's not a minigame you get him for, it's the entire level! You can play the entire level as Sergeant James motherfucking Bird, and it is amazing! You all know what a fan I am of James Bond. And if you didn't know that, well, look at the channel name. And James Bird is obviously a play on James Bond, so of course he's my favorite side playable character in this game. You can fly around blowing up all of the annoying enemies you missed, you can hit all of the balloon suspended bottles for gems, and most importantly, you get to reassemble Boney Boy. But wait, there's more. That's right, it gets even better. Skate park. You thought the skate park in Sunny Villa was cool? Check this shit out. It's got several half pipes, it's got big ramps for crazy speed, it's got side paths, it's got towers you can pneum across. Look at this speed, look at it. So many points. As a kid, I spent hours dicking around in this skate park, and that feeling of fun remains today. There's only one other level I can think of that compares to this one. Segue.
1,
Haunted Towers from Spyro 1. Bet you didn't see this one coming. Really though, this is apparently considered one of the hardest levels in the entire trilogy, so I'm just as surprised as you are that it's number 1. But, allow me to show you why. Dreamweavers is already a cool hub area, and is the last full hub area in the game. As such, the levels here do tend to be harder and longer than the rest of the game. But this level, it has these fairies that make out with Spyro to give him super breath, which is great. You can destroy metal outright with this super breath, which is really important for this level. There are these reanimated suits of armor that body block you from making any progress, and you need super breath in order to kill them. After you make some progress through the level, suddenly supercharge. You use this to break down some doors to progress in the level, which is fairly close to the exit portal. And if that was it, this level would just be okay. But watch this! what the fuck? A whole other optional section. And not just an optional section, a timed optional section. You have to quickly climb up the stairs and get behind the suit of armor at the top before it animates and blocks you. And if you manage to get all the way up here, you get the best reward a dragon could ask for. This fairy isn't like the others. This is the Queen Fairy, and her kiss that gives you super breath is permanent, at least till you leave the level. And now you can go wreck shit and destroy all the suits of armor. It's so satisfying to have that super breath for the entire level and to go back and make everything look super easy. Pulling off that crazy supercharged jump is so satisfying. Destroying everything is so satisfying. And this is one of the last levels in the game, so you feel that extra bit of achievement that shows how far you've come since you started the game. It's perfect. I loved it, and I still love it. I love most of the worlds in the original trilogy, but this one is my favorite, though it's definitely close. So there you go, my favorites. You probably noticed Spyro 1 and 2 had more worlds picked than Spyro 3, and that's because I do prefer Spyro 1 and 2. Spyro 3 is fine, but I feel like it loses a lot of steam halfway through, whereas Spyro 1 and 2 stay strong for the entire game. The original trilogy brings back a lot of memories for me, and I'll always be thankful I grew up with these games. When I think of PS1 trilogies, I immediately think of Spyro and Crash. Crash Bandicoot.